What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Al Joseph here, and today I'm happy to introduce my brand new Kiesel Artist Edition model, the SCB Stealth. It has been such a blessing and a dream to work with Kiesel guitars over the last couple of years. It just came down to two models for me, between the Aries and the SCB. And of course, I favor the single cut model and the flair and style of it. And I was really going for something that stood out, of course, but also can fit in various musical situations. So from an aesthetic standpoint, you could be shredding metal like I do on stage, or you can be playing in a country or pop band as well, and it still fits in. I have to say, this is probably the most versatile guitar that I've played so far. So getting to what makes this unique to the SCB is, first of all, the bevel. What we decided to do was use the inspiration I got from the Aries and apply it to this bevel. The regular SCB bevel has kind of a shallower bevel on the side, and it runs from the back all the way to the front. What I wanted to do is maintain the spirit of the single cut flair and stop the bevel at the middle here. So you can see it stops here, and it also runs deeper into the guitar for playability, and it just feels like a dream. It feels extremely comfortable. It's really good for me because I have long arms. I'm kind of a big guy, so I need something that sits into my body really well. I love the fact that we kept kind of the hard edge here on the upper bout, just giving it a really pronounced single cut look. What we also did was we actually kept the bevel around the edges of the back as well, and that's very Aries-esque, and it runs all the way around the entire shape of the guitar. We also added a little bit of ultra action here in the back. You'll notice that the normal SCB doesn't have that. I'm telling you, getting up to the 24th fret very easily is pretty much a staple in shred. So I wanted to make sure we had that. It was already super comfortable to get up there, and now it's just even more comfortable to reach up with that ultra access cutaway in the back of the horn. So starting with the specs, we're gonna go into the body here and the body wood. So talking about the cap wood here, I decided to go with flame maple. And when painting the guitar, we decided to go with Jeff's own custom pearl blue finish. You guys know I love blue and gold, so getting that pearl blue finish on there, it really suits the stealthiness of the guitar. What's more, that flame maple cap, we decided not to paint the bevel that shows up once it's cut away. And you guys can see this beautiful grain of flame maple. It's just amazing. That goes all the way around the guitar as well. So I'm talking about the edge here. I wanted to reveal the edge. And as we cut in and bevel the lower horn, you get pretty much the same thing as it tapers off. So it's really beautiful. On the upper bout, like I said, I wanted to maintain that spirit of that solid single cut look. I love that aesthetic, and it really turned out beautifully as we left the flame maple binding on the sides, okay? It's color treated to match the neck. And this was done by Jeff himself. The man is just a wizard. So I love that, and I'm extremely happy with it. I wouldn't change a thing. Moving on to the body wood, as I said before, I went with real, authentic Honduran mahogany. I chose it because of its dark kind of caramel flavor and tone. It just gives you that warm, rounded tone, okay, without so much bite and aggressiveness. We also decided to chamber the wood. There's two reasons I decided to do that. One, to relieve a little bit of the weight so the guitar just feels good to play for longer periods of time. And two, which is the biggest reason, is to bring out the more resonance of the guitar. Many of you guys who mess with Jeff's guitars on the regular know that these things bark without being plugged in. I mean, they're just super loud and percussive and aggressive. I love that. I love the vocality, the vocal quality of the guitars. So just chambering the body out adds more and more and more to that. So I really loved how that turned out. Moving on to the neck, the top wood here, to match with the body, I went with roasted flame maple. It just looks amazing. I've always been a fan of flame maple fretboards. This is a neck through construction. It goes all the way through the back of the guitar. It allows for a much smoother heel getting to the 24th fret. I don't feel any blockage. It's just super smooth all the way through. You just don't have to worry about want the guitar getting in the way in any way, shape, or form. Jeff really inspired me to go back to neck through guitars. He does a very good job in constructing a guitar that really pronounces all the notes. You know, I'm using 59 to 10 or 10 to 59, however you say it, and I'm tuning down to a low A, and I'm telling you, every single note, I don't have to worry when I record. I don't have to punch in and, oh, that note sounded kind of dead. There is no deadness on this neck. When you're doing gent or you're doing crunch or palm mutes or anything like that, it really, really articulates very well. And as a former drummer myself, I really like that quality in my guitar, and it's just the best of both worlds. Really nailed it with the neck throughs. I couldn't be happier. Also, for the inlays, we went with abalone inlays, so the abalone fits perfectly. Moving on, we have the Evo gold frets. Now, black people love gold. I love gold, okay? I like to have gold. I like all my guitars decked out in gold, and I just wanted the frets to match the gold aesthetic as well. I just think it's kind of a break when you have gold all over the guitar and then you have, you know, stainless steel frets. I just wanted to match. Evo gold frets are super durable. They're super fluid. They're very, very smooth. I've been using them for over 5 years now. Had no problem, hadn't had to recrown them or anything like that. They're about as hard as stainless steel. I haven't ever been able to wear these down. So that's awesome. They look great and they sound great and they hold up great. Another thing I want to say about the neck is Jeff has these with all his guitars. Another thing that he adds to his necks is the carbon fiber rod. Stronger carbon fiber on either side that you would get on the entire market. You can tour anywhere with these guitars. Rain, sleet, hail, snow, whatever. The neck is just not gonna move. So I love that about this. And it's gonna feel just as good for years to come as it did on the first day you got it. Amazing. Moving on to the hardware here. So we're gonna start with the bridge. This is Kiesel's proprietary 7 bridge. It reminds me of like the Wilkinson bridge, but it's got more heft and just more durability to it. It doesn't feel like a toy. It feels super sturdy. It feels reliable. I've had no problems with it. No bells and whistles popping out here or there. It's just awesome. Another awesome thing I want to say about this bridge, right? A heavier block. And what that block does for the claws as it adds sustain, right? The heavier the bridge, the more sustain, the more natural resonance you're gonna have on the strings. The strings are not gonna vibrate through the bridge, it's gonna vibrate off the bridge, and you're gonna get more sustain and more resonance that way. Of course, on the tuners here, we have the Kiesel hip shot tuners. With most guitars, it takes forever, as most of you know, to wind your guitar up into tune, starting with the string all the way down. Here, you can just slip the string all the way through, twist these gears in the back all the way up, and start tuning, and you're in tune in no time. You're not gonna get any slip on the tuning pegs. It's just very stable all the way through. The guy has thought of everything. All right, so moving on to the electronics here. Now, this is my favorite part because I have tried just about every pickup company configuration. I gotta say, these are my absolute favorite. These are the Kiesel Lithiums. From the moment I played through these the first time, I just instantly fell in love with them. Especially playing live. I remember my first show with the Kiesel ever. I was playing here in Los Angeles at the Whiskey. I just couldn't believe my ears. I had the jitters before the show. I was nervous as anybody would be, but as soon as I plugged in and just made that first note scream, I was at home. I think any good pickup, any good humbucker or single coil has to do a good job in relaying the sound of the guitar. These pickups really complement my playing well. It's just very, very expressive. They're very flat, and I really, really love that. I spent so much time, you know, dialing in the woods that I wanted and the configuration that I wanted acoustically. You need some pickups that can also accommodate that. Much love to Jeff for these. These are amazing. All we have here is a very simple volume and tone knob. I decided to do a little custom thing by putting the coil tap on the upper bout of the guitar. And the reason for that is I do a whole lot of switching. I mean, you watch any videos where I'm actually playing a musical work. I wanted to be able to reach the coil tap very easily instead of having to go here and then come back here, switch. It just depends on the phrasing that I'm using. Putting it here allows for easy access. It's just right in where I play. It's super comfortable, and I just love having it there. You know, when I'm going for a particular sound, when I'm dialing in my tones, and I'm spending all day tweaking, and I'm spending months sitting with a tone, allowing my tones to evolve and actually progress with my playing, I need a guitar that can keep up with that, and I need a guitar that can sit in any musical situation, whether that be aesthetically or whether that be sonically. And my brand new SCB Stealth is the guitar for you if you're that type of player, or if you're aspiring to be that type of player. It's sexy, it's sleek, with the pearl blue, it actually really rounds out what this guitar really means to me. A lot of you, Jeff tells me, have been waiting for this model to come out. Get yourself an Al Joseph Kiesel Edition model, the SCB Stealth, today. It's a beautiful guitar. I can't wait to see how this guitar evolves over the years. I want to thank Kiesel and the guys, and I appreciate the fan support out there, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.